Hello friends, James Stevenson back with another episode of What's Jim Farley Saying Today? I'm kidding, there have never been any episodes called What's Jim Farley Saying Today, but I'm going to tell you what he was saying in this episode. Right after I feed Loki his breakfast, there he is, I think, expectantly waiting for his breakfast. We'll put it in front of him and see if he wants to eat it or not. Okay, there you go, buddy. And now it's time for everybody's favorite game. Will he or won't he eat his breakfast now? If he doesn't eat it now, he will eat it later. So you can keep that vigil going in the Loki's bed cam below me if you're not interested in hearing what Jim Farley said. But Carl Quintanilla gives you the only quote you need from this article. You don't have to read it. Ford CEO Jim Farley saying, I think what Elon's going to learn is product freshness means a lot. The product gets commoditized, and then you lose your pricing premium. That's a really dangerous thing. All right, so I had to reply here. Alternative headline, guy who just warned his shareholders he's going to lose $3 billion selling EVs this year. Attempts to lecture guy whose company has already made $3 billion selling EVs so far this year, just in January through March, on how to make money selling EVs. That's what Jim Farley thinks his job is to advise other people on how to make money selling EVs. I was not the only salient point made in the comments. Here's one from Chansu Bayan Chansu, which I'm sure I'm saying wrong. Same guy from also Ford. All right, so what was the thesis? If you had to boil this down to its core statement, what is Jim Farley saying here? He's saying product freshness means a lot. Here's the freshness Ford has brought to the table over the past, what does this start on, 1948? Yeah. So here's the product freshness you've been getting from Ford pickups over the years. That's how Ford keeps it fresh, by introducing new models like the Ford F-150 that they've been selling for 75 years and essentially delivering the same value proposition to buyers the entire time. All right. So the other angle that I wanted to bring on this is, well, Jim has appointed himself as the expert on, how to sell a lot of EVs. Let's check the scorecard. Let's see how Jim is doing selling EVs in the U.S. Our friends over at Clean Technica have provided us with a ranking. What's the scoreboard look like so far this year for 2023? Well, we've got data for Q1 2023, or at least estimates in the case of Tesla. They're using Troy Teslaike's numbers here because why not? He does a lot of work to figure out what the unreported distribution of Tesla sales were by model and geographic region. Tesla could sure save us a lot of heartburn by just releasing that information. And I hold out hope that they one day will. A few years ago I asked Elon, and he said that level of detail was not helpful and would cause more questions than it's worth to release that amount of detail. But BMW, for example, releases a 200-plus page report that gives you all of their numbers for production, by factory location, for sales, by model, by geographic region. It's all in there. So what do the rankings look like? Is Ford number one? Is that what Jim Farley is doing, trying to help Elon rise up the rankings? Maybe Tesla can reach the number one spot one day? Oh no, the number one selling vehicle in the U.S. For electric vehicle sales is the Tesla Model Y, selling nearly 100,000 vehicles. All right, so Ford must be in second place, right? No, Tesla is in second place. The Tesla Model 3 sold over 50,000 vehicles. Well, Ford must be next, right? What did they sell, 40,000? No, Ford isn't next. Chevy is next. They sold nearly 20,000. That's good enough to make third place. You don't even have to sell 20,000 vehicles to be in third place. Then Volkswagen is here. They didn't even sell 10,000 Volkswagen ID4s, and that's not a very expensive vehicle, I don't think. Then we've got the Rivian, which looks like it's doing pretty good in fifth place here until you remember this is an electric pickup truck that they're selling and two other vehicles. They've combined three models all on one row that they sold a combined 8,000 of. That must not be an estimate. If it's 7,946, Rivian must have reported those sales. Have we gotten to a Ford vehicle yet? No? How far down the list do we need to go? Hyundai Ioniq is in 6th place. Here we go. The Ford Mustang Mach-E, they sold 5,407. Well, Tesla sold about 150,000 Model Y and Model 3s combined. So we got a guy selling 5,000. We got a guy selling 150,000. The guy selling 5,000 is giving advice to the company already taking, you know, more than 80% of the market share. Like here we have the Mary led with the Hummer EV. They sold 2 of those, bringing up the rear on this list of U.S. vehicles sold. And that is my video for today. We'll check back in with Loki, who has turned his nose up at breakfast for the moment. And I'll say, if you've enjoyed this video, click the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, why not go ahead and subscribe to my channel? You can do that on YouTube. You can subscribe to me on Patreon or on Twitter. Whatever your preference is. I would say probably the most benefits are from subscribing to my Twitter channel. So go subscribe to me on Twitter, where you'll also get subscriber exclusive tweets from me that you're not going to see if you subscribe through Patreon or through my YouTube channel. But I do want to always thank my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, who join my YouTube channel at the top support tier, and I'll see you in the next one.